How's it going, everyone? Got quite a bit to talk about in this video. Another free upgrade available on the PlayStation 5 right now, and it's probably a game a lot of you guys already own. That being Fury. We'll talk all about that. Final Fantasy VII Remake might be getting some new information next month. However, you know, when you talk about FF7, there's a lot of FF7 content that's in development. I know everybody is all eyes on the remake and wanting to hear about Remake Part 2, but hopefully we do hear that next month. We'll talk about that. Last of Us Remake might be releasing this year, according to Jeff Grubb. And also, Deathverse Let It Die, getting a network test very, very soon. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But yes, the Game Bakers' Fury is available on PlayStation 5 right now. You can get an upgrade on PlayStation 4, if you have the PlayStation 4 version, excuse me. And that'll get you the PS5 version. This is a game that was available as a PlayStation Plus title. I want to say back in launch. I might be wrong about that, and might have been after launch, but it definitely was a Plus title at some point, but that was years and years ago, I believe back in 2016. So, you know, it's a game that a lot of you guys probably have in your library. For a lot of you guys, maybe it's a game that's just been chilling in your library when it was a Plus game and you never actually played it. Maybe now would be a great time to go and play the game. Fury was a game that was a super, super stylish game. A lot of cool visual effects in the game. It did have some difficulty spikes. I remember that being one of the main complaints about the game, but thought it was a really enjoyable title, and why not? If it's available on PlayStation 5, get that upgrade and be good to go. By the way, the Game Bakers also did Haven, a co-op title that I thought was really good as well. So that's another game maybe you'll want to check out if you did enjoy Fury. Alright, moving on from that, Final Fantasy VII Remake's director Tetsuya Nomura has revealed that Square Enix has news to share in regards to the Final Fantasy VII franchise next month. So, obviously, when you hear about Final Fantasy VII news coming next month, when you hear that, that'll immediately make you think it's talking about the remake. It could be about the remake, but there's so much stuff in the works right now as far as Final Fantasy VII as, you know, FF7 Ever Crisis, and other stuff like that. Who knows? It could be like a clothing lineup for the FF7 remake. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things it could be if it's just FF7 news, but hopefully it's about the Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, because now we're north of 2 years since the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and you would think that now would be around the time that maybe they would drop a teaser trailer, maybe even a full-on gameplay trailer, because a lot of the aspects of, you know, I imagine like they're carrying over a lot of the assets from Remake Part 1, so you would hope that development would be a little bit quicker for this. I still imagine it's going to take a very long time, and yeah, you guys are going to meme and be like, I'll see you guys in 2027 for Remake Part 2. And honestly, you might not be wrong about that. And obviously, we still have to get FF16 first, you would think, before we're gonna get Remake Part 2, but we really want to see where Final Fantasy VII goes, man. I enjoyed the remake quite a bit. I know some people wanted it to be a one-to-one iteration of the original Final Fantasy VII, but hey man, Final Fantasy VII is still available. It's available on the PlayStation Store. You can buy it, you can download it, you can have a great time with it. Obviously it shows its age, but I'm excited for something a little bit new. And yeah, I won't get into spoilers since, hey, we're north of 2 years past since the release, but some of you guys may have not played it yet. And if you haven't, go play it. It was a Plus game as well. And that was a Plus game that also eventually got it available as a PlayStation 5 upgrade. So that was pretty cool. But hopefully it is the FF7 Remake Part 2 news. It's just with Square Enix, whenever, like, you know, news is being teased or people are, there's rumblings and people are talking about, hey, is this reveal coming? Is XYZ coming? You know, I always like to take it with a grain of salt because it could just be a clothing line, and I hope that's not the case, and I hope we do get a brand new trailer, especially because, yo, it's May right now. Next month is June. That is a great time. I don't know if Jeff Keighley can get it, the trailer for, let's say, a hypothetical FF7 Remake Part 2 on the Summer Game Fest, but you would think that would be a perfect platform to debut the game, and that would be something that would get a lot of people talking and really get people excited, especially during this big news period where, yeah, there's going to be a lot of games revealed, but FF7 Remake is going to be one that is going to stand out and people are going to talk quite a bit about. But Nonetheless, now I'm getting a little bit too excited, and that might not be the case. Alright, moving on from that, during today's episode of the Kinda Funny Games Cat, GamesBeat's Jeff Grubb talked about the yet-to-be-announced Last of Us Remake, and saying he's hearing that it's coming this year. Now, the Last of Us Remake hasn't even been announced yet, and in the case of Sony, you know, they do like to announce their games well ahead of release. I always wish that they wouldn't do that, and they would get more into the idea of, hey, reveal a game, and then it's out a couple months, maybe 6 to 8 months later. And I feel like a lot of you guys are starting to feel the same way as well, but, you know, maybe they just feel like how they reveal games, that structure works. Do a CG trailer, do the big gameplay reveal. It's multiple kind of reveals that you can do over the course of the games, you know, leading up to the game's release. But I know a lot of you guys probably lost a lot of your love for Last of Us, and I also know a lot of you guys loved The Last of Us 2. I myself have made my opinion pretty clear. I wasn't a big fan of Last of Us 2. If you enjoyed the game, more power to you. However, Last of Us 2 is not going to ruin my enjoyment of Last of Us 1. Last of Us 1 is one of my favorite games of all time, and if they do a full-on remake for the game, I don't know if the game really needs a remake, when you consider the fact that remaster is still pretty darn good. But hey, if they're gonna remake it, I'll definitely be playing it, and given that we do have the HBO show coming, given the success that The Witcher 3 has had since The Witcher Netflix series has come out, it is a good marketing tool on both ends to get people excited about the HBO show and then to get people excited about the remake as well. It just makes a lot of sense. And I don't know, at the end of the day, if Last of Us 1 gets a remake on PS5, even if it's like $70, I think a lot of people are going to end up buying it. And Naughty Dog has been a little quiet recently, so hopefully they are far along in development of whatever they're working on, whether it be Last of Us 3, whether it be this Last of Us remake, whether it be all of the above. And obviously, there's still some potential in Uncharted to be had. But yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Do I think it's going to be coming out this year? No. I would probably say best case 2023, early 23 would be pretty cool to see, but we'll see how that turns out. And lastly, I do want to note that Death vs. Let It Die will be getting a network test. There will be 2 of them. The first one will be on May 28th. The second one will be on June 5th. I'll leave a link to the PlayStation Store where it has the complete breakdown of the regions and the time. If you're in Pacific Zone, if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, you'll know when all of that will be happening. The game itself notes, in 2026, a seismic natural disaster known as the Earth's Rage sent the world into upheaval. Now, several hundred years later, the inhumanely violent survival reality show Death Jamboree was born to satiate the devastated human heart. Will you be the last one standing? The star who thrills the crowd and wins wealth and glory beyond compare. Now is your time to shine. Now, by the way, this is just a free download, so they do note that they would like players to download the beta before it kicks off, the network test before it kicks off. So if you're interested, get on that and you can jump into that. But that's gonna do it for me. Again, Fury has a PS5 upgrade available right now. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hopefully, we'll get some information about Part 2 next month, and hopefully it's not a clothing line. Although, I actually just did pick up a Final Fantasy VII shirt, so guess what? They're making money off me, off the merch, so I'm sure Square Enix is happy. Last of Us Remake may be releasing this year. Hopefully that is the case, because it'd be nice if Sony had another big game. But generally speaking, in my recollection, Sony usually has one big game every fall, and you would think God of War's coming out this fall. And I don't know if you want to bring out Last of Us Remake right around the same time, but nonetheless, maybe that'll happen. And then Death vs. Let It Die, network tests available to be added to your library right now. You can jump on that if you're interested. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.